Well, I discovered the case of another murder before that of Bucks Row. It happened in George Yard. We shall put it on the map in order to see if it corresponds to our area of research. We must place the murder of Martha Tabram in George Yard on the map. That is where Martha Tabram's murder took place. There's no point going there. I already have all the information we need on that matter. You see, this murder took place in the area in which our killer lives, his safe zone. Nonetheless, there are two major differences between the murder of this Martha Tabram and that of Polly Nichols. Firstly, the blows inflicted are not the same.
And the second difference?
It follows on from a doctor's opinion. He claims two weapons might have been used, and if there is one group of people we absolutely must not trust in this business, it's doctors. Don't you agree, Watson?
Watch it, Holmes.
Tabram's murder took place in an area where the murderer, whose cowardice is clear, was able to make a quick getaway, that is to say, near his home. For his second murder, he would have wanted to go further afield, so the police would not link these two cases. And as for the other murders, seeing the ineffectiveness of his last one, he headed in different directions to kill his victims while still staying in the vicinity and without going any further than necessary, and all the while planning his escape. My dear Watson, we now know what this man looks like, in what area he lives, and that he suffered directly or indirectly from syphilis. Let's not forget the anatomical knowledge he must almost certainly possess. Given his lower-class background, a butcher seems very likely. However, it may be the case that the man was a butcher once, but is no longer. He might also have been a medical assistant. Who knows? That's why we need the testimonies of the other Joseph and Dr. Tumblety in order to be certain.
What shall we do, Holmes?
As the police's cooperation is futile and can be ruled out, we have nothing to do but wait. Watson, wait, and hope we see one of these two men before the killer strikes again.
At last, a long day's work done. How are you doing, Holmes?
Fine, Watson, just fine.
I suppose you still haven't heard any news from Whitechapel?
No, Watson.
It's been almost a month now. Who knows? Our killer may have brought justice upon himself, overcome by remorse and ignominy for his actions.
Not a chance, Watson.
You haven't done anything about the story of a kidney that was sent in the post and reported by the papers. Why not?
The killer left a message on one occasion with the intention of harming. The letter accompanying this package served no purpose other than to give value to its recipient and arouse disgust against its sender. The killer has never done anything for nothing. In order to authenticate the Galston Street message, he left an indisputable piece of evidence. Can we really say as much about this kidney?
I don't know. All I know is that there are letters piling up on your desk. Isn't it time to move on to another case?
Absolutely not, Watson. I think that the other Joseph is reluctant to meet me. The man he saw must certainly have put the fear of God in him, a man well known for his violence and his hatred towards Jews. There can't be any shortage of those in Whitechapel. I have hope yet. As for Dr. Tumblety...
We found him, Mr. Holmes. We found him.
Who's that?
Dr. Bumblebee. He's been locked up by the bobbies, but they've let him loose. Oi! He was looking round like a rat who's scared of his own shadow. He's gonna do a run at years.
Watson, this is our chance. The game is afoot. Let's hope that Tumblety will go to collect his trunk. As for you, my little friends, thank you for lifting this burden that has been on my shoulders for almost a month.
He is here. The doctor is here, up in his room. Peeking through my door, I saw him go up the stairs, and I think that he has a pistol.
Regarding the trunk, did you do what I told you to?
Yes, I jammed the lock and filled the trunk with stones. Should we call the police?
Absolutely not. Go home, lock your doors, and if you hear a gunshot, shout as loudly as you can. Watson, we must disarm this man at all costs before attempting to confront him. Come, have your pistol at the ready and stay alert.
Don't move a muscle or I shoot.
Who? But
What is going on?
Bravo, Watson. I take back everything I ever said about your less than full involvement in our investigations.
Listen, Mr. Policeman. I already told everything to your colleagues at the station, so...
Don't you believe it, sir. We're not with the police. We are here to talk about human organs, an area in which you seem to have a great deal of interest.
What? But who are you?
We are the ones holding the pistol. Listen, Tumblety, tell us everything you know and you will be spared from the noose or a bullet. Have you tried to get hold of any female genitalia from someone during these past months?
So that's it. You English. Listen, as it happens, I do have a collection of female genital organs which I hold dear and never miss the chance to show my friends whatever the occasion. If you knew what I feel when my eyes meet the young men's as they contemplate with astonishment and disgust this soft and flabby skin that they worship and place at the center of all their passions. Women repulse me, gentlemen. They are one of nature's greatest mistakes. Lying, haughty, and most of all, nauseating. No, sirs. Men, mankind, we are not made to soil ourselves with such animals, and it is my task to educate my peers, like the ancient Greeks used to do, and put them on the path to masculine relationships, the only kind worthy of our intelligence.
My God, this man has lost his marbles, Holmes.
You haven't answered my question. Did you attempt to obtain any female organs?
Indeed, but a long time ago. I was living in Liverpool at the time. A few of my specimens were starting to lose their freshness. But despite the sum proposed, the heads of the university hospitals refused to accede to my demands. The fear of what others would say, certainly. I know nothing more similar to an arrogant fowl than an English doctor. Yakety-yak, always showing off in the courtyard with their haughty airs. And as soon as...
Shut it, Tumblety. So, was it you who killed all of these women? Yes or no?
I regret to say that it was not. If I had really wanted a few more uteri, I would have had them brought in from the United States, where it would cost me much less than here. Or I would have shown a few gold coins in the hallways of a morgue or a hospital in London, and they would have kissed my feet to sell them to me, and not taken the least risk. But kidneys are all the latest, aren't they? I think that I could find one tomorrow for less than £1. In short, gentlemen, I do not know your killer, and I don't know why he's doing that. But if you come across him one day, please send him my friendship and my deepest respect.
You've gone too far this time.
Come, Watson, let's not get carried away now. Thank you for your assistance, Doctor. If I may offer some advice, you should leave England as soon as possible. Each day that you remain in this country is a risk that an intelligent man would not take.
My pistol?
Without that, it will be even more risky.
Can we believe this man, Holmes?
He can't be the murderer, and his story regarding the organs fits. But we can't afford to take the slightest risk. I will ask the Baker Street irregulars to follow him. Listen, lads, when Tumblety leaves here, follow him discreetly and come and tell me as early as possible tomorrow where he is currently residing. Understood?
Understood, Captain.
You are already ready, Holmes. What is going on?
I have been waiting for you for at least an hour, Watson. It would appear that a new drama has unfolded. The youngsters came to give me this address, but I have some doubt as to the actual location we are going to. Let's try anyway. At worst, we may come across the Baker Street irregulars to put us in the right direction.
We are lost, Holmes.
No, we're not, Watson. We are heading for the very street I'd hoped for, but as I wasn't sure it was this one, I've made a few big detours in order to find the right one. I'll know it when I see the name.
Why, of course, Holmes. Why didn't I think of that? The great Sherlock Holmes can't...
How are you, my friend? Are you not feeling well?
No,
My friend is a doctor. He can take care of you.
Don't go there. He came here, and he...
Now, Watson, take care of him. My God!
What happened?
Can't talk. Wait for the coppers. Are they coming? My eyes are crying.
No.
Go find them too, mister. I'll stay here and keep an eye out. Go!
No, I must await my friend. Ah, here he is.
Watson, are you there? How are you?
Fine, Holmes, and you? What happened?
Hello, sir. Where are we, Watson?
In Whitechapel, Holmes. This must be Dorset Street. You don't seem very well. Do you need something?
Indeed, Watson. Some clay, a great big piece of clay. I would ask for some wine, too, but as you know, I taste nothing but melodrama.
What is over there?
A trip from which you will never return, Watson. Trust me, don't go there.
A trip? Behind this door? In this room?
It's not strictly a door, it's more of a portal, a threshold, and what lies behind it is not the mortal realm, Watson. It is a place beyond time and space, the gift of a frantic artist who made use of his talent in order to grant us access to his world, Watson. Beyond that threshold is an abyss. Hell. The police won't take long to arrive, and the last thing I want is to waste precious time on them. Could you lead me out of this area and take me home?
You should come and eat, Holmes. Mrs. Hudson has worked wonders. The joint has been cooked medium rare. If only you would tell me what was in the courtyard.
The answer, Watson.
The answer, Holmes?
Yes, the answer to a question that you asked me a few weeks ago.
How the devil can the answer to a question I asked you be found in that courtyard? And what question are you referring to, Holmes?
How our killer set about reaching the height of horror by taking another victim, Watson. Did I not tell you that I wanted to avoid melodrama?
Do you mean to say that...
Yes, that's what was in that room. You helped towards the colour. All that's missing is the odour, but I shall let that pass. The mutilations almost all resulted in large removals of flesh. My photographic memory noted them all in great detail, the shape, size and location, and thanks to the softness of this clay and your medical knowledge, I believe we can attempt to determine what is missing from this lady.
Don't you think we should wait for the medical examiner's opinion?
Surely not, Watson. This massacre has gone on long enough. I can assure you that I will do everything in my power to get our hands on Jack the Ripper before this night is out. Watson, we shall reconstruct the body of this poor woman and inspect it in detail as well. Your help as a medical man will be invaluable.
Holmes, I feel a bit unwell.
Well, I understand. I will manage on my own. Her throat was slit just like the others. The wound is particularly deep. There were incisions in the rib cage as if to inspect the lungs. The liver was neatly removed. An organ is missing, apparently. I must specify which organ this is on my list. There we are, Watson. We have examined everything. The heart is the only thing missing. 2 uteri, a kidney, and now a heart. He had all the time he wanted in which to disfigure her, cut her up like a piece of meat, and yet took nothing but the heart. What do you think of that, Watson? Watson? I dread to think how you'd react if you saw a corpse. I'm returning to Whitechapel, Watson, to Isaac's. If the heart tells you to come with me, if the heart tells you a little wordplay there. Let's go to the cobbler's. Let's go to the cobbler's.
Beep, beep. Evening, Mr. Holmes.
Good evening, Hardyman. Has Abraham Solomonovich still not reopened his shop?
No, not that I know of.
Have you heard anything about the latest murder?
Certainly there is talk of nothing else. Poor girl. I hope they catch the bastard who did it.
Who do you think that could be?
A madman, that's for sure. Everyone in the area is pinning it on a Jew. But I don't believe that for a second.
Why?
Because Jews don't like blood, you see. They're not allowed to eat it, and they have to drain the meat before cooking it. It's true that they eat animals, but they are fanatical about all kinds of silly things. I don't know much about their rituals and all, but I know that a Jewish butcher can't just do whatever he pleases with his knife. He has strict kosher rules to follow.
You seem to be very well informed.
Well, I buy my meat from them too. My clients don't care whether the meat comes from Jews or not. Cats eat it regardless. And let me tell you, I'd go as far as to say that I may even have more faith in a Jew, because even if they don't eat all the offals, a Jew inspects them to see if the animal was in good health. Lungs, for the most part, and as they make up most of my cat's meat, you can see the connection, right?
Jews are allowed to eat offals?
Yes. They eat calves' kidneys, I think.
How big is that? A calf's kidney?
Ah, well, that depends if it's fresh or if it's been marinated in brine or cooked.
When fresh, are they as big as a human kidney?
They would be, yes.
You know, Mr. Hardyman, it's lucky for both of us that the murder that took place in your mother's courtyard was only the Whitechapel killer's third. Had it been the first, I wouldn't be thanking you, as I'm doing now, for all of this important information. Goodbye and take care.
If you say so. Right, farewell, Mr. Holmes.
Let's go to the cobbler's. Good evening, Mr. Solomonovich.
Evening, Mr. Holmes. If you've come about the business of my cousin, I hate to say...
Before you respond to my request, I must ask you to answer this question of the utmost importance. What offals are Jews allowed to eat?
Well, the same as you.
Kidney, heart, liver?
Yes.
How are they prepared?
Kidneys are boiled, heart is often finely sliced and cooked on a skewer, and liver is always grilled.
These offals, do they come from cattle?
Yes, beef or veal.
And eating non-kosher food would be a grave affair for a Jew, isn't that right?
Yes, it would be very serious. But what are you getting at?
If I were to tell you what I'm thinking, Mr. Solomonovich, you would pull out your own eardrums to not hear the end of my sentence. It goes against the beliefs of hundreds of members of your community, and for some, perhaps even worse. I will ask you one last time before involving the authorities, who I assure you will be far less discreet than myself. Do you know who the second Joseph is, the Aldgate butcher, who your cousin knows from the Imperial Club?
His name is Joseph Chaim Levy, but I don't know where he lives. I know nothing about him, other than he's a member of the Imperial Club on Duke Street.
That street is after Church Passage, coming from Mitre Square. Am I right?
That's it.
Thank you. You have been an enormous help to both of us. Now, listen carefully. I need you to find 4 or 5 strong men among the members of your family who you trust wholeheartedly and to wait here with them until my arrival, or you receive a message from me. Is that clear?
But if you will tell me...
Later, Mr. Solomonovich. Later. Let's go to the Imperial Club. Ah, there's the Imperial Club. Let's see if I can find Joseph Hyam Levy. Hello, sir.
Hello, can I help you, sir?
Indeed, I have an urgent message for Mr. Joseph Levy, the Aldgate butcher.
I regret, sir, but Mr. Levy is not at the club at present. You can wait for him if you wish.
I thank you. Do you know where I can find him? His home address, perhaps? It is a very urgent matter.
I am sorry, sir, but we do not give out information regarding the club members to people outside the group.
I understand. I must find a way to enter the Imperial Club without having to go through the entrance hall. A note encouraging members of the Jewish community to remain prudent and vigilant after rumours about the Whitechapel murders. This may come in handy. Cole, it's a service door and firmly locked. There must be a stock room in the cellar beneath this room. There is a cellar window behind this barrel, which is preventing me from passing. If I can just get into the coal cellar, I shall be in the place. This barrel is on a wooden pallet, but it is too heavy to be moved. I will need a pivot. There we are. My pivot is in place. Now, let's find something to tip over this barrel. I should be able to make it tip over. Closed. The cellar window is locked from the inside by a simple iron hook. Let's go. Good. Let's try to find the exit that leads to the club. This may come in handy. Closed. Empty tin cans. Let's hope that it really is the key to this door. Administration. Perfect. This must be where the information on club members is kept. A page from an old Yiddish-English dictionary. Court's proceedings. Curious. Some square metal tokens. Curious. There is a document. There must have been litigation between Joseph Hyam Levy and Jacob Levy. This must be the club's safe. What I am looking for is probably inside. I need something. This must be the club's safe. What I am looking for is probably inside. The lock on this chest is very sophisticated. Let's see. elementary. I need something. These documents contain some words in Yiddish, which reads from right to left. Excellent. Now, on to the next step. Here we are. I have the address of this Joseph Chaim Levy, 36 Middlesex Street. Now, let's try to get out of here without being seen.